What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let's talk a little bit about Kell Brook. Now, earlier today, I was really thinking the Kell Brook versus Jessie Vargas. We all know I've made videos about it. Other people have made videos and things of that sort regarding that fight. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't think they've officially announced the fight, like actually confirmed it, even though it looks like it's likely to happen. So, just as I was thinking that, a little bit later in the day, I seen there was an article and it was talking about Kell Brook. The reason it hasn't been officially announced is because Brook and Jessie Vargas are currently not like finalizing and trying to deal with a money dispute. And basically the synopsis that I gather is Kell Brook is going to have to get less money than Jessie Vargas or around the same, something to that effect. And he doesn't feel that's fair because he being the champion, he shouldn't be getting anything close to what Jessie Vargas is getting. And I want to break it down. So Jessie Vargas is reportedly getting about $1.7 million to come over to the UK to fight Kell Brook. So this is my thing. I always look for patterns in the sport of boxing, and Kell Brook is. I like Kell Brook. I like his skill set. I think he's a good fighter. I told people that if he would have fought Khan at 47, I would have favored him. I favored him to beat Sean Porter when he was a challenger and Porter was the defending champion. Porter defended against Paulie Malignaggi and destroyed him. I still pick Kell Brook. I like his skill set, but there's some things and there's some patterns I've noticed with Kell Brook that make me a bit curious about Kell Brook. One, ever since Sean Porter, he hasn't fought anyone remotely as good as Sean Porter. Like, he fought some mandatories and just guys we know. In the first one I gave Jojo Dan, I gave him a pass. I'm like, okay, he's coming off a brutal stabbing. He got to make sure everything's in line before he takes on a top dog. And then he started fighting other guys who didn't make sense. Frankie Gavin. And then he's fighting Kevin Bezier, who Jojo Dan beat, and allegedly that's his mandatory. The thing with the mandatories is this. As a champion, you have a certain time frame in which you can fight your mandatories. It's not like they just say, oh, hey, we're taking your belt because you didn't fight your mandatory within 2 weeks. It doesn't work like that. Guys like Demetrius Andrade, guys like Guillermo Rigondeaux, when they're inactive, like Andrade was inactive because he had promoter issues and a fight fell apart. So he lost his belt. Same thing with Guillermo Rigondeaux. A lot of people ducked Rigondeaux and didn't want the fight. So for that reason, those guys become champions in recess or become stripped of their titles because they go so long without fighting. But with Kell Brook, you have a certain time period, and he already beat Jojo Dan. Then he fought Kevin Bezier, or not Bezier, Frankie Gavin, and then he immediately said he had to fight a mandatory. I don't believe it. He was supposed to fight Diego Chavez, and then he got injured allegedly. And then by the time his injury healed, he had to fight Bezier, which is a guy who lost to a guy he already beat. And I don't believe in triangle theories, but it's just those guys are massive underdogs. So it has nothing to do with the triangle theory as much as it has something to do with I give those guys no shot to beat him, and that was the end result, which is what you've seen. So I'm not really liking that. Even back in the day with Devin Alexander, he was supposed to fight Devin Alexander 3 times, and the fight was postponed and eventually canceled completely and never happened to this day when Alexander, I believe, was a champion 3 times, and 2 of them was the one that pulled out. So just little patterns I noticed like that. Another person, Brandon Rios, comes to mind. Brandon Rios, before he fought Tim Bradley, was in deep talks. Him, Robert Garcia, and Top Rank, and Kell Brook's side, Eddie Hearn and everybody. Deep talks to make that fight. And then there was glove issues, and there was like, how much is Rios going to get? It seems a little bit too coincidental for Kell Brook to be not one of the culprits that are causing some of these hangups. So fast forward to the future. Jessie Vargas, it's a unification bout. It's like, what does Kell Brook want at this point? You haven't fought anyone who is having the momentum of a Jessie Vargas. Even in loss, Jessie Vargas is a better fighter than Kevin Bezier. You know what I mean? He lost to Bradley. I would pick Frankie Gavin and all them dudes that Kell Brook recently fought to lose to a guy the quality of a Timothy Bradley. You know what I'm saying? So even though Jessie Vargas lost, he still has momentum because he stopped an undefeated Olympian in Saddam Ali, right? He has tons of experience. He was with Mayweather Promotions. He's with Top Rank Promotions. He was trained by Roy Jones Jr. and still Pensacola. He was trained by Eric Morales for a period of time. Now he's trained by Dewey Cooper. He's been around the game. He's probably sparred with everybody. I know some people who he sparred, and he told me the kid has heart, and he brings it. He's tough. So for me, with Kell Brook, I understand the champion probably shouldn't get less than the challenger, but it's a unification. It's like in boxing, the game has gone soft. Now it's just completely, some of the fighters are acting like it's just completely about the business. Like there's so many belts, I guess the fighters don't even care about the belt. So it doesn't sound like he's putting the precedence of helping and becoming one step closer to unifying as much as he's worried about whatever Vargas is getting. You got to look at it. Vargas is taking a huge risk here, right? Vargas is the American, Mexican-American, who's traveling from Las Vegas, I believe is where he lives. He's traveling from Vegas. His first title defense, he's taking on a champion with more welterweight experience, with title defenses and mostly stoppage wins in his last couple fights, in Kell Brook, who's a big welterweight, who's already talked about moving up to 54 because he's so big, things like that. And now it's the purse. You don't like how much he's getting. Like, it's like there has to be some level of give. He has a belt. He has a better name than Frankie Gavin, the BZA, JoJo Dan. He's a tough fighter. You'll get more credit for beating a Jessie Vargas than any of your last probably 3 opponents. And you'll get a belt as well. So I'm not understanding the motivation behind Kell Brook. I don't know all the UK stats. I used to live in the UK, but shout out to England. I'm not sure how big of a draw he is. I think he's pretty popular. I don't think Kell Brook is hated, but he's not a massive star. Like a massive star is this. Ricky Hatton came to fight Floyd Mayweather, and he brought fans, like a ton of fans came to Las Vegas. When Kell Brook fought Sean Porter, I don't think he had that type of fan base. Ricky Hatton, Hitman Hatton, had the Gap band in the audience, and they were like, "We're not gonna take it." They had their shirts off and war paint. They were ready for Hatton, even though he got knocked out. But they came to support their fighter. I don't think Kell Brook had that type of presence in the States. Or you look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather just did a seminar, a boxing like exhibition seminar or tutorial or whatever in Russia. They were crying and fainting like he's Michael Jackson and taking pictures with them, and they were elated that Floyd was in their country, right? I don't think Kell Brook has that, like where he could just come to the States and everybody's just fainting over him and they know who he is, or maybe even Russia. I don't know how well they'd be versed with him. Some people probably know him, but I don't know if he's that massive star to the point where it should be all this. So it's just, I'm not liking these patterns as far as Kell Brook. The Devin Alexander, the fight got canceled 2 of the 3 times because of you. Then you haven't fought anyone as good as Sean Porter since Sean Porter. Then the Brandon Rios fight fell apart. It's just not making sense. Now the Jessie Vargas, they're arguing over money. So hopefully they find a way to squash it. I understand the standpoint of like everyone wants to get cashed out, but to me, Kell Brook has to have some level of give. You're not this massive Mayweather-Pacquiao A-side where you should be able to dictate every single terms. I mean, give the man a break. Most people aren't favoring Vargas to win anyway, and he's already come into hostile territory. Now you want the lion's share of the purse. It's just make the fight. That's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think of Kell Brook and his recent behavior. What do you think of the Jessie Vargas fight? Anyone picking Vargas for the upset? Drop all that in the comment section. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.